or that cop or that agency person from the other agency. It's an existential lie for me to say she's from a different tribe. That person of sexual orientation is of different than me. No, that's my blood, that's my nature. You know how many, I've been a priest 30 years. You know how many times I've looked into the grave? Huh? At seminary, I was at a Russian seminary. The graves in Europe get crowded. You know what they do? They dig them up and they put the bones in something. You know how many graves I've dug up? You know what the Egyptians and the Russians and the Albanians and the Ethiopians and everybody looks like at that point? They don't look the same to me. A covenant is not an agreement, it's not a contract, it's not a deal, you do this and I'll quid pro quo, I'll do that. The covenant is an existential truth that we're all one. And it's a lie to say that kid is me. You had a turkey on your table at Thanksgiving, the kid paid for it. If it were not for thieves, locksmiths would die of hunger. You see what I'm saying? Your outreach. You are the incarnation. You're the fleshing out of that truth, of that covenant. When you go somewhere, it's important. You're hooked up with development. They need you. They can't do a good job without you. Okay, so the number one thing is for you to connect that covenant circle. Can't see that number no more. What's that number there? Tell me, what is it, sweetie? Tell me.
1-800-999.
Thank you. Don't get old, because you can't see. What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, Father Stephen. Katie, look, I'm looking for a skinny white kid. She's from one of the boroughs. I can't remember those boroughs. Which borough are you from?
Queens.
Yes, she's from the other one. Astoria. Is that a borough?
No.
No. Anyhow, if you see her, would you call me, please? She's like a light brown hair. I don't want to say she's retarded, but she's a little bit slow. If some guy has her out here, I appreciate that. I gotta go. Okay, now watch. Not Kate, but who's ever pimping her out or this kid. Stay away from that covenant house and don't talk to them no more. She says, get off my back. He wasn't looking for me. He's an old goofball. He couldn't even see the car. He was asking me about some kid from me. He didn't even know what a borough was. What happened there? What happened there? What did I want to get into her head? Right. What did I want to do? Set her up for trouble. Did I stay long? No. It took me a minute. I got some good demographic information. I found out where she was from. I got her name, if it was her real name. Right? Now what am I hoping for? Maybe I'll get a call in the 911. I didn't find that girl but when I see her again, what can I say? Oh, it's me. She'll say, oh, it's that goofy guy again, right?
That you leave that person with a story or something in the case of when you drive off, because we've had situations where the pimp, and out in Philly, it's like, you have females and male pimps, so you just don't know. So we may pull up to a girl and they look at us like, yo, why y'all getting this stuff? And they're like, oh no, they was looking for this girl, Lisa, such and such and such, and like they're literally probably looking for this person. But what that does, it recruits them to actually kind of keep us abreast of what's actually going on. They may not find a girl, but now they're telling us about the 3 new pimps that have came out in the neighborhood, which is valuable information for us.
Also, as a fundamental theological principle, people are basically good. Okay? People are basically good. And if you call out to that good, in all the years I've been doing this, no one has ever said, no, I won't help you. people, so I'm not going up saying, I will help you. I'm saying, in my weakness, help me. No one has ever said no.
If a development person or if somebody without the day-to-day contact with these kids said, you know what, give us the keys to the van, we got a camera crew, and we're gonna go out and we wanna film some of these kids. Now this person has no relationship with these kids or whatever. The idea that is being given to the hands of the gatekeepers, which are the outreach team, to say, this is the angle we are coming, that we want to come from, but we are going to now put all of our energy and trust into your relationship with these kids, and you control how this is going to look. You control that. So if we need a camera crew to go out with the outreach team, it's not that the development people or anyone is in control over that. It's you, the one that's going to say, these are the kids we think you should talk to. These are the kids we think you shouldn't. This is when we think you should write. This is when we think you shouldn't. So the fact that it's in the hands of the people who are the most compassionate about these kids, that to me is also very important.
Even listening to Father Steve today, look at all the, there is a bit of magic to it, right? A little bit of, so it's a little harder to describe. Where if I say, come to our crisis center, and I can tour them around, and I can do that, that's a lot easier than giving people a taste of outreach. So one of the things we hope to create as we move forward as a team is those opportunities to bring people out with you guys in a way that's everybody feels comfortable with. We've heard people say, oh, it's like a dog and pony show or something like that. We don't see it that way at all. I mean, what it really is showing people our work and giving them a chance to connect. I mean, we've had donors over many, many years, and you can talk to Brian Bob about this, who's did outreach in California for years. The people who they'll say, that was the most meaningful experience to me ever, going out in that van and really seeing what you do. Being able to get out and see the kids on the street and really see why we're needed, what we're doing.
Back seats, you wanted to do an outreach tour. It's hot, sweaty, me and Alex are, taking her around. So at the end of the tour, and there was like a zillion, there's hot days when there's like a zillion kids in the street and everything's sweaty and noisy and people are making pincho in the corner and dancing, there's music and, there's like stuff going on. And I said, this lady, she's gonna, so she says to me from the back seat, we're parked in front of the shelter, what do you need? I said, I don't know, you gotta go in and ask development. Ask the, what do they call it? What's Michelle's title?
Program coordinator.
Ask the program. I don't know. So I want to know what you need. So, I gave the standard outreach reply. Socks. She said, no, I want to give you money. So I can't take money. The little lady opens her purse, like Queen Elizabeth, takes out a wad like that. $50,000. So my son says to me in Albanian, Papa, are the cameras around here anywhere? Right? So I said, I can't take that. Someday somebody's going to ask you what you need. She ultimately ended up giving it to the proper people. Somebody's going to ask you, what do you need? You're out there. You're outreach. You know the need. The executive director is going to come to you and say, what do you need here in Camden? It's a new work. What do you need? What do you see out here? Your monthly report ought to be so good, it ought to start with a narrative that describes the trends that you see, then the numbers that you met, then you break it down, and then you give a little recommendation at the end. Your monthly, weekly, quarterly reports ought to be pristine and perfect, and you owe it to the kids you see to do a good report so that the people who have the means and the money can get it where it needs to be. That's on you. You got to work hand in glove with development. You got to recognize name, address, that funding need.